Yo, what's good, everybody? More Shiba slander? Nope, no Shiba slander today.
We'll see about that.
Maybe no Shiba slander.
We'll see.
Push him to the edge, all his friends are dead.
Does that count as slander?
No, I think that's just
No?
stating the
Okay.
facts of what happened, in 118.
Yeah, I mean, you still got some Mashiro truthers out there coping.
Maybe Mashiro's still alive, who knows? Exo Shiba's life. How's everybody doing,
What's good,
though?
PC? What's good, Just Jay? Appreciate y'all being early. Let me pull this.
Y'all know the deal. Our usual activities.
Nonsense. What's good, Rage? Zony?
Yeah. Amity.
Amity?
Is that how you
Let's
say like
go.
pronounce that, by the way? Amity?
No, it's Amatai.
Maybe it's
Amatai.
Amy. Amy, thank you, Matake. With
Maybe.
the Uran badge.
Yes, sir. Just Jay is in Mashiro Cobra. They're saying, okay.
Maybe he's like
Well, I
damaged
knew
so
there's
bad that like he has to get body modifications in order to like stay alive, and that's how he becomes that big backed Kabunabi higher up.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask them. Do you think Just Jay that he's the Kamunabi higher up, or you're just not necessarily subscribed to that theory and more so just hoping he makes it past this fight?
Wait, what happened just now? I just got some kind of. Maybe I'm having.
Here we go. What's going on, Ty?
Yo, I think I'm having a stroke.
Don't say that shit, man.
No, because like I heard like a ding, like a bell sound, but nothing's popping up. I don't know what. Chad, I think I'm cooked.
I'm sorry, Amity. That doesn't necessarily help. So are we saying it right? That thing.
All right, so this stream is gonna be about figuring out how to pronounce this. All right, so Rage is might be having an aneurysm like I am apparently because he could hear it too.
Okay.
Stroking out, okay, buddy. This ain't OnlyFans.
I love this community.
I don't know what people told you about me, but I don't do that anymore.
Look, everybody's stroking out with you.
Damn, it's a whole stroke sesh. Who needs a smoke sesh when it's a stroke sesh? Am I right?
What's good, Bingo?
Bingo the Allosaurus. Push all of us to the edge. Oh, I don't know what that noise was, bro.
It's all good. To be fair, I think I heard it as well. Might have been a Discord thing. I don't know.
Hishaku, oh my god, you do not.
You do not want to be in a house with Tibby, man.
What? Why me? I cook.
You're close enough.
We're getting into it now. We just giving everybody a couple minutes to hop in. Damn, bro does not want to waste time hearing us yap. Bro just wants Kagurabachi. I ain't mad at it.
See, now I really want to pronounce this dude's name right. Is it Amitai?
Amity.
Amity?
I don't know. I'm just bullshitting. But anyway, let's start.
I'll get it right one day, I promise.
Let's start a poll.
All right. No, it's all good, Bingo. We're just letting a couple of people jump in. We just started the stream. We're gonna get into stuff real quick. We're just doing our usual bullshitting up top. This is a Chain Soldier stream. Oh hell
Hey,
no.
Kyoka Uzin. Top 1.
Hell no. Keep that shit out of here, man.
Alright, so
heard it
here's the
again.
poll.
Okay, Ray. This time it's just you. Oh, Amy T. Amy T. Okay, I
Amy
got
T.
you. Amy T. All right. Appreciate that. Kurorushi Glaze. I just had one line giving Kurorushi his props, Zoni. But I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Okay, so there's the poll.
All right. All right.
I gotta figure out what the fuck that. Man, I'm trying to figure out what that noise was because it happened twice now. I don't know what it could be. Let's see. But anyway, we'll just get cracking.
Mm-hmm. We'll get into it.
So
Mashiro is alive and I can explain. Well, I was about to say that. For those of you who have your theories in chat, start going off. I think that could be a good starting point for today's conversation, seeing where you guys are at in regards to the ending of last chapter, the beginning, or where we're going next. And then me and Ty will quickly get into.
Yeah, so we could steal all of y'all's theories and stuff and present them as our own.
Exactly.
What do I have? Yes. All right. Oh wait, is that it? Okay. I mean, I guess Daisa, what I'm wondering from you is, where do you think this chapter starts? What's the starting point here? Is alright, bro. I heard that shit again.
Really?
Yeah. Wait a minute, what is...
Yeah, I'm not hearing shit this time around. Must be something on your PC, maybe Discord or...
I don't have anything up. That's weird, man. It's like... I blame Rage. You know what?
Don't do Rage like that.
Alright, let's see.
But if it's...
There goes again.
It's not too...
Yeah, see, that's why I'm trying to figure out what it is, so that way I can silence it. Because I don't want... I don't want the chat to have to deal with that.
I mean, I can't hear anything. Chat, can you hear something?
Rage said he did.
I heard it too. Oh, wait, I have the chat muted. So, I mean, I have the stream muted. So, whatever it is, it must be from your PC.
Okay, here's what I can do, though. Can you read what Bingo said? I'm trying to...
Oh, yeah, okay, I got it. I'll entertain the chat. His sorcery and its similarities to Magatsumi's B must imply that he and Mashiro will meet at some point. Huh. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know what, in terms of visually speaking, their sorceries, those rings are very similar. Magatsumi has unlimited abilities. Soga just needs to replicate or take inspiration from other sorcerers, I think. Yeah, see, that whole thing is interesting, and I think in one of Alon's latest streams, we were talking about that, of like how it is most likely not a coincidence, though it very much could be, or just Togazono kind of like playing with us in terms of, the similarities between, like you said, Bingo, literally visually how Akamura's B looks like compared to Aku, and then at the same time the fact that Mashiro was fighting a warrior that used a B attack. It's
the thing.
It's
my bad.
Okay, go ahead.
I was about to say, the thing that I would angle for if I was saying Mashiro is still alive is that back in like chapter 6 or 8, whatever it was. God damn it, I heard that thing again. I'm gonna have a stroke. in that panel of that flashback of the Seitei War, like that, that little low end villain, fodder villain, the clone one, he brought that flashback panel up or talking about the war. You do see a sorcery that looks kind of similar to Mashiro's, the little effect of rings when he uses his sorcery. If I was saying Mashiro's still alive, I'd probably be angling with that. But I don't know. I don't think he's alive though, personally.
But
Oh wait, hold on. Did I mute myself?
I didn't hear anything after but.
Oh, but I said, oh my bad. I must have muted this thing. I think he's dead anyway. I don't think he's alive. But if I was trying to angle that, that's what I would say. Is like that flashback, or he's still alive at least up until the war. All right, I gotta get rid of this thing, whatever the hell it is.
What's good, Micah?
Yo,
Akamura
what's
and
good?
Dagura would have the craziest battle of learning off each other. Yeah, that would be kind of crazy. Yeah.
Be the
Yeah, that's a
man.
good one. D the man, shout out D the man for that. Appreciate you, man. Weekly Wiki slander, love to see it. Um,
I'm gonna let him have
yeah, that
that.
whole that whole B thing with Mashiro is interesting. I don't necessarily, because again, it could just be like a nod from Hokazono. If I'm being honest, the way B was stated to work, if I recall correctly, Akamura's B, it is very much how what we see from the Mikaboshi. It's just that visually it looks more like Mashiro's sorcery, right? But to be fair, at the end of the day, it is kind of like streamlined pressure. I would have to kind of go back and look at those panels again and read the description. But yeah, we'll see. It is tough to say. At the same time, if Shiba is the Soga Guardian and Mashiro's been up and down with Shiba for God knows how long, Akamura could have picked it up at some other moment. But yeah, I guess it's not really concrete. We'll have to see. But bingo, it is. It's not crazy. It's not crazy to think. It's
Yeah,
not crazy to think.
I mean, just the way. I mean, I guess we have to look at it like this. Who do we think that Shiba has like a bit more of a connection with? Like, they say he's like the Soga clan guardian, but he doesn't really, we haven't really seen much of his interactions or the dynamic with the clan itself. We know he's kind of in the doghouse, for exchanging the letters between Chiaki and Kunishige. Chiaki's mom don't like his ass. And you know what? I can relate. But then, he looks like really tore up in that, obviously in that last page, which to me points to like the person that he spent the most time with so far in this flashback. I know it's only been a couple, like 6 chapters or whatever, but he looks so tore up because Mashiro did get cooked.
I would think so. I mean, to be fair, whatever he witnessed, like I feel like even if Mashiro is like not necessarily dead, but just like on the brink of death, I feel like that would kind of trigger a similar reaction.
Yeah.
Because whatever he witnessed, like just seeing the two Soga go out and like you talked about the editor's note, which we don't get, is I'll give you the credit for kind of bringing this to me, something unholy.
Yeah,
It,
that's crazy. We don't get that, by the way. My bad for cutting you off.
no, it is crazy. It is crazy. It pisses me off every time you remind me. I'm trying to look for kind of scrolling through previous chapters. We don't get a description. Oh, see, yeah. Magatsumi's B is a concentrated piercing force channeled into a single point. Its unrelenting tip bored into the ground. That's when he does
Is what?
the thing at Kamunabi HQ. Stop it. Stop it. I'm not even gonna entertain it.
You
But and so like
nasty.
that pretty much fits the description of Mashiro when he analyzes the Mikaboshi B attack. Uh,
My bad, Chad. I'm distracted trying to figure
creates
out what the sound
pressure,
is.
creates a pressure,
Mm.
creates pressure in a specified place and specify. Oh wait, that's Aku. That's Aku, which again, it's pretty similar, man. It's like both, Yeah, it's interesting what he did there. Maybe it's
Bro, it's every time every time Rage posts in the chat, it does that noise. Rage, how do you have a grip on my PC?
his tip.
Bro, I swear, every
He's too
time.
developed in the story. He's definitely more than a background character that gets killed immediately.
Yo,
Yeah,
Mike
I
Up
can't argue with
said,
that. I like.
if Chiaki Nakamura's dad is dead, I'll be the father that stepped up. Hey, I ain't mad at that, Cook. You got that.
Was
She,
good, Mal.
bro, see, look, he just put in the chat and did it
Mango.
again. How the fuck? I've never heard it. I've never seen that before.
I
Okay,
mean,
he
the only
did.
thing I can think of is he is a mod. He's the only mod in chat right now. Is there maybe like
Okay,
some
well,
sort of mod?
no. I mean, it didn't do it that time.
I'm too elite.
Anyway, these are not redeeming.
Scared me even more. Mikabushi dude is crazy.
All right, I'm distracted. Let me just lock in. My bad, y'all. Um, okay, so 119. Where do you think we start, Dice?
I think we pick up right seeing what happened with Mr. Mikaboshi. That's what I'm calling him.
Gotcha. That's what I'm kind of torn on, and I mean, like I said, y'all know that gif of that dude shooting like 5 shots and he's just bricking all of them. That's me. Because that's really how I feel. Like I'd be missing on these theory on the like what we're gonna get, what we won't get. I don't think we're gonna see it. I just think we're gonna see basically the going forward from after Shiba gave his testimony. Maybe we'll see a reaction of Shiba giving his testimony, but I don't know if we're actually gonna see what. I hope we see what happens, but I don't know. I'll probably be wrong about this, like I was wrong about the actual fight. So
I mean, I do respect that you are you're sticking to it. You're sticking to the off screener.
Hey man, yeah, I'm gonna go
But
down swinging.
I don't know, man. I think I'm really kind of subscribing to us getting like how can I say this? Just like the first like Shiba witnessing, I guess, the dark power. The Japan or yeah, I guess these guys witnessing like the dark power for the first time.
Yeah. That's a good point because that one thing I've been thinking about is the shit's floating in the final that final page, like even the dead body, the furniture. So I'm wondering if like that's gonna play into like Sojo's that flashback of Sojo's childhood. I'm wondering if that is gonna play into it, and like Sojo, when that guy does die, or if they can all use it or whatever. But I do wonder if that's gonna play into it down the line. My bad, Miles. My bad, buddy. Come give me a hug. Where my hug at? But I do think this is gonna be the jumping point where Kunishige, they kind of get that rolling, getting the enchanted blades rolling. Cause like now this is like the first, like this is the warning, not even a warning shot. You know what I mean? This is just the start. This is what's gonna get everything amped up, get the war effort going, start forging the blades. So I'm wondering, I do think we might start seeing like Kunishige begin forging the first enchanted blade at the end of this chapter. Oh shit! I just saw Bingo says, when do you guys think Kunishige is forging the enchanted blades? I think he might start at the end of this chapter.
Yeah, that's not crazy. That's not crazy either, like at all, because the war has started pretty much. Like you said, um, the Mikaboshi have kind of made their move, made the first move.
Bro.
And so it's only the escalation from here. Let's be honest. So I see this already as the war having started. The battle on Hiroshima was the beginning of the war, or is the beginning of the war.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would agree with us seeing. I think we'll cut back to Subaru and Kunishige really soon. I think we will probably see them at the end of next chapter. I think that's actually very likely how next chapter could go. I think we'll see what happened on Hiroshima, and we'll cut to Kunishige and Subaru. I mean, maybe it's like inverted. Maybe, like you said, we'll jump straight to Kunishige and Subaru and like them kind of reflecting on what happened, and then we'll cut towards the end of the chapter and see what happened. Whichever of those two I think could work. But I think we're in it already. I think this is already the beginning of the war, and I think we're gonna see Japan getting ready for the invasion.
Gotcha. And Bingo brings out like the enchanted blades they were losing the war, and the people, or the Mikaboshi, I guess I could just refer to them now. Mikaboshi encroached on Japanese soil, and then pushed them back further into their own territory, and then that's when the enchanted blades hit the scene, and they started to basically clash at that point. They brought it even, and then we all know who took the field last and changed everything. But when I say like he's gonna start beginning to like forge the first begin to forge the first enchanted blade, I don't necessarily think that he is gonna like succeed on his first try either. Or he could forge the first enchanted blade, and that sword could just so happen to be the Magatsumi. Yes, it's the strongest one, so you would think his masterpiece came at the end and that one hit the field last. But what if he just could never find anyone that suited that blade, like I talked about in the last stream? So the second sword that he forges will be the actual first enchanted blade to be used.
Yeah, no, I mean, like you said, we talked about that like last stream. That's very much a possibility. Um, yeah, no, that could be. I guess it all depends really on like. I mean, to be fair, I think we're gonna find out real soon. I don't think we're gonna have to wait long to see which was the first blade that Kunishige forged. Um, I think that very much is a possibility. But I think it would also be interesting to see Akamura, because I think we can pretty much say for sure that Akamura, fought on the battlefield before he got handed Magatsumi. I don't think he was just. I mean, hey, like it could be right that he was just kind of like wanting to go out there, and for some reason he wasn't, allowed. But I think it would be very interesting to see Akamura fighting alongside enchanted blade bearers with a regular blade, and him just being like on that level, where he can fight alongside these wielders without having an enchanted blade himself until he eventually gets handed the Magatsumi. I think that would be very interesting to see. But yeah.
And one other thing, sorry, I lost my train of thought. If Kunishige, because he's gonna, like, we need to see the process of like, how is this gonna go, right? He forges the first one. It's Magatsumi. It's the strongest one. He makes a deal with like the Kabunabi, or the soon-to-be Kabunabi, that he'll craft these blades for them, but he gets to choose who wields them. So Subaru gets the second blade. We see him now, And I think at that point, Japan's gonna start pulling their forces together. You know what I mean? And now you bring up, where does Akamura come into play here? Uh, when will Kunishige have the time to crack Chiaki? All these things play a
Oh my
part to the
god.
timeline. But I do think that Akamura, the death of what was his name? Shit.
Hiroto?
Hiroto. And what was Hiroto and
Yoshinojo.
Yoshinojo? Bro, I have a shit memory.
No worries.
Yoshinoji, whatever, and then Hiroto. Big Daddy Hiroto. I think
Okay.
the death of those two is gonna basically put the Soga on like high alert. And I do think that they're going to allow Akamura to join the Royal Guard. Maybe one of them, maybe they both were on the Royal
Mm-hmm.
Guard, and they just had to give up their strongest, in good faith, like the Soga clan gave up their strongest fighters to go to that, meeting with the Mikaboshi. But since those two died, they might now remove that restriction and allow Akamura to become a part of the royal guard, and he'll soon become the leader, even at his young age, and that's how he becomes so cool with Kunishige.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. I think you might be cooking with that. That the death of these two guys is what kind of opens a spot for Akamura. You have been saying that for a minute now. And let's not forget, like you said about the Soga being put on alert. This is the Soga's like old arch nemesis, the Mikaboshi, right? Like these guys are coming back with a vengeance, and we don't really even know what like what is like the exact history besides the Sogan clan having driven out the Mikaboshi. Like how long did that rivalry or like that feud, how back does it go really? I think there are some things that we can find out there that only add fuel to this to the hatred and the the fire, the rivalry, whatever you want to call it. um I think that's a whole nother perspective of this whole thing. Like not only do the Soga want to get it back in blood now, but when they find out that this is the people that their ancestors had already defeated once, and now they have access to this like incredible power, like these guys are gonna have a chip on their shoulder, excuse me, to fight. um so yeah, I think that's like a whole nother angle to this thing that's gonna make things very interesting. Like these guys are gonna be very much like happy trigger, just wanting to go out there. And yeah, it would be interesting to see if like they pressure, like we see some sort of because we know they're the ones that kind of run this whole sorcery shit at the moment, like when it comes to like keeping the other sorcery clans in check. And I do wonder if they're gonna try to use
Damn it.
their leverage, their authority to like want Kunishige to make the enchanted blades for them. You know,
Yeah.
be very interesting to see something like that.
I I don't I'm a man. See, the thing with like that Akamura, right? Like I don't know. I don't know how to word this, and I want to be careful because, like, it's a touchy subject. But the Mikaboshis and the Soga clan's history, right? We know that there is a racist caricature of the Mikaboshi in that painting, showing them as like these monsters, these ogres, right? And now you could look at that as two ways. One, that is a racist caricature, with basically depicting them in a way that isn't actually the truth, or there is the possibility that they were depicted that way because that's how they kind of ran things back 1,000 years. You know what I mean? That they were this like, and I'm not saying that let me just, make sure I get this out the way, that what Akamura did was not fucking cool, wasn't right. Like, did it after the treaty was signed. But
We know, bro. We know.
it just seems like I'm still not sold on like the I don't know how to phrase it. I think that maybe they were just kind of savage, not savage. I don't want to use the word savages. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I think they were. I think they were a bit like, dangerous, and they kind of ruled with like fear. Whereas we see the
Okay.
Soga clan usher in a new era with like sorcerers and regular civilians. They have they're like the Princess Soga is like the symbol of this agreement between like sorcerers not including regular citizens in sorcery. And we know that for a fact that held up all the way up until the war, because that is when sorcery became more like prevalent in the regular world, where normal civilians were aware of it. They're in the cities now, and even what was it in the present timeline, the start of the story I should say, people out in the country still may not have seen a sorcerer in their life. Hishaku was the first sorcerer that country kid seen, for instance.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying in terms of like crime and whatnot, but the truth is, just to argue against you, really, or not really argue against you, but just to pose, an argument, is that we don't really see how the Soga run shit either. Like when you think about it, the whole perspective, like the perspectives that we have gotten from the Soga clan have been from people that work for the government, or somebody like Chiaki, like yeah, they've
True.
like we know they keep order in terms of like again, like you do bring a good point in terms of like we know that because the Soga clan wills it, that there is no kind of sorcerers just going out and uh you know uh like harming civilians, but that's pretty much it. We don't know with what sort of like force they keep order themselves. And you said what you were talking about earlier is a touchy subject, but when you look at, and I don't want to really get too much into this because there's really nothing, uh like there's not really much to it yet, at least. When you look at the kind of coat that Yoshinojo's wearing,
Oh yeah, that
that is
don't
a
help.
very, yeah, yeah, and again, like I don't think that like that symbol and like Hokuzono putting that symbol and how it looks like, reminiscing of that of a real life controversial symbol that is only associated with like war crimes and aggressions, from World War II. It is like it could be Hokuzono kind of like giving us a little,
Yeah,
you know.
true.
I mean, the truth is that like it is often in real life. It isn't necessarily like, oh, good guys and bad guys. They're the good guys and they're the bad guys. No, it's like people with opposing beliefs, people holding grudges, people like, not being able to get over their hostilities. And again, I don't want to get like too carried away in this whole thing, but I do very much enjoy how Hokuzono has framed this whole thing, because you can really understand the argument from both sides in terms of why obviously they're both wrong and like how they go about it, both Akamura when what he ends up doing and what the Mikaboshi just did. But you can see what kind of creates this hostile environment when you look at what the Mikaboshi went through, what their beliefs are, and now the fact that Japan has access to what we talked about, basically gave them a second chance at life. They fear what Japan could do, and so they think we'll strike them before they strike us, you know? And from Soga's perspective, it's like, well, these people already like were willing to come back after 1,000 years to harm us. I won't let it happen again, you know? And again, I'm not I'm not
No,
advocating for
yeah.
neither of them, but you can see the environment. And again, just I think it's fucking masterful work from Hokuzono, because so far this has exceeded what I thought was going to be ultimately the framing of the war, where like I just thought, well, like, oh, it's likely that Japan just started shit and guys like Kunishige and Akamura didn't really know, and it was like hush hush and blah. But no, it's a lot more complex than that, and it's a lot more
Yeah.
like reminiscent of real life than that, and I really fuck with it, man.
Yeah, I don't think there's just
Cooking.
one. There's not like one right side. There's not right and wrong sides. That both have their own faults.
Mm-hmm.
In what happened, but you know I guess we'll have to wait and see how that all comes into play down the road. What Hokuzono, decides to show us,
Yeah.
and all that. But I mean, we can move forward. And I'm still trying to figure out what that sound is. It's killing me.
Oh
God,
man, I can only imagine.
he's doing a good job of kind of, it's a meathead shown in story. It's only sword fighting, but I mean he's really like having a lot of substance, and I mean I think there's a lot of great character writing in part one of Kagurabachi. I mean, look at Samura. Samura, his character arc is really well done. Objectively, the writing is um, almost flawless. Like really, he built a dynamic, with this like father daughter thing. Like way back when we first started Hishaku Hideout, that was during the Samura Iori moment. Like that flashback happened, I think, within like our first 10 episodes or something like that. And I mean that it moved me to tears. Like I literally had a tear. Like I have a daughter, so like that type of stuff always kind of just like resonates with me, and I'm super empathetic. And not just that, but like how every arc introduces like a different kind of like parent dynamic to Chihiro, but into a different capacity, or like
Yep.
the Sojo. I gave him a reality check, introduced the idea that people are going to view his father, in a different light than him, but they also don't know the Kunishige, that he knew. He knew Kunishige better than anybody. And then like how Hakri and Kyora's dynamic and all that. But like now I think the substance is now delivered not in the sense of the characters, but now the overall like narrative and plot. You know what I mean? Like we're still gonna get character writing in this flashback arc, obviously. Like I think Shiba has already, like he's done a good job with Shiba in this flashback arc. You know what I mean? And it's just the beginning of it. It's still, you know what I mean? So like I think that his inclusion of like all these like moving parts with the Mikaboshi, none of us seen it, or I think someone said last stream that someone did call like a old sorcery clan or something like that. But I really want to see like I guess Akamura's first encounter with one of them. You know what I mean? And see exactly how he engages with them. Like if they actually talk, how does that go? Is he automatically gonna be off rip, like not cool with them? I mean, obviously they're at war with them, but just because like he's a Soga, not just in the Soga clan, but I mean he's like the brother of the Princess Soga. And I also want to see Shiba. I mean, I want to see Shiba's like actual thoughts on the people from Shikoku. Now that he knows who they are and what happened, if the guys did lose their lives on Hiroshima.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I agree with you in terms of Shiba. I think the way his character has been set up is very well. And I think we're like gonna get into like the bulk of his writing from here on forward, how this encounter in Hiroshima affected him and how it ultimately shaped the man that along with the war, right? The man that we meet back in chapter 1 and we've known for a couple of chapters now, for over 100 chapters in part 1 already. But when it comes to Akamura, at least my personal theory, which isn't really too crazy, and I think I've said this before, he talked about like the Shikoku being indoctrinated and whatnot. I think what we're gonna see with him is just full on hypocrisy, because I think obviously, again, like we just talked about, this is their old arch nemesis. The old arch nemesis has returned. You would assume that the Soga clan was raised. Again, the story of the Soga clan. That's what that ukiyo-e painting is called, right? So the backbone of how they came to be this, the clan that now rules over Japan, however it is that they may rule. It comes off the back of them having defeated the Mikaboshi, right? And so I think what we're going to see with Akamura is just full on the same indoctrination that he was talking about. how he reacts, like you said, in terms of like the more nitty gritty in terms of you know, how his character is written and fleshed out, how he reacts immediately to those guys. Like there could be some nice character writing done there, but ultimately I think we're going to see him with a chip on his shoulder, like I talked about a couple of minutes ago, really wanting to take out these guys. I mean, he already has the drive, since, you know, and again we've talked about this, since Chiaki became the princess with the prophecy 2 years ago. He's had that chip on his shoulder to become better and better, and I think this is gonna only like drive that forward. In fact, I even though I don't really think that this is what Samura was alluding to in terms of what happened to him, you know, there's other theories about like whether it was the death of Chiaki or the birth of Chihiro, or like I think I've even seen a Piku entertain or you know like talk about this theory about like Chihiro and Chiaki having been kidnapped or something like that. Like maybe it's something more personal what happened to Akamura, but I think this very much kind of feeds into like maybe what Samura was alluding to about like what is it that happens to them. I mean, the Mikoboshi myth is like is public information, right? The way that Professor talks about it. Um, so that's something else that, you know, like I also wonder like does is that also like public to like the world? Is that kind of like dug, like, you know, what is it, like hidden under the rug in terms of like the propaganda of the war? Like the do this average does the average civilian knows who exactly were the Shikoku?
Yeah,
Um,
that's a good
because I was
question.
thinking about that, and I don't want to like I don't want to really like deviate the conversation too much, but this is something I was actually wondering earlier today. Is like, did Yura know? Because you know Yura was privy to a lot of shit, right? Did he know that these were actually the Mikaboshi? It's, you know,
Yeah, that's a
interesting.
good question. I didn't really think about it like that because you know, all like the ramifications and you know that this brings are the man. I ain't gonna lie, I'm fucking like I'm so like not locked in because it's goddamn noise. I got like 30 things up on my computer trying to figure out what this is, but
Hmm.
like the ramifications of everything that happened in the war, right? Basically, is what you know pushed Yura to become this, you know, villain organization leader. Now, we don't know exactly what happened, who killed his wife. All we know is that they were close to where the war took place, and you know, some they she died because of sorcerers. We just don't know to what exactly. Oh my god, that thing is killing me, bro. We don't know exactly what happened that day, but we know what it pushed Yura to do, and that's how Soga became free. Now, that's why I'm wondering that like this Mikaboshi thing, and you posed that question that I didn't even think about that Yura, if he knew or not, and what exactly you know how that all kind of plays into it, because he was not a sorcerer beforehand. The dude had like mailman energy, and you know
Hmm.
his resolve and all that kind of pushed him
Sorry.
into you know you're jumping into like the world of sorcery um, for the sake of Japan, or so he says. I need to figure out what this is. My bad, Dice. You mind entertaining real quick? I need to figure out what this is because it's gonna drive me crazy until I figure it out. Oh, you know what? I want to try something.
Do what you got to do, man.
No,
Do what you
can
got to
you
do.
go jump in the old hideout? I want to see something real
Okay.
quick. My bad, chat.
1 second.
Yeah, my bad, guys. Every time I start to like conceptualize, you know, anytime I try to like do anything, like I hear that fucking ring and it kills me. It's throwing me off my game. I'm wondering if I just found it though. Yo,
Yo,
okay. I doubt
yo,
this.
yo.
It don't look like. Anyway, my bad, brother. I'm like I'm just not locked in this stream.
No, it's cool. I mean, push through it if you can.
Yeah.
I think it's about like I think it's a good time to kind of look at chat. I think we've been a good minute without really looking at chat. I see Jello
Yeah.
pulled up. Was good, Jello. It's the homie.
Yo, what's good,
Um,
Jello?
Mango Mango says I do think they assassinated Chiaki. I think so as well, man. I do think unfortunately Chiaki is cooked. Uh,
Yeah, I
Dyson six
agree.
toast Tiberius is 265. Or even the
Oh
mods are
my
making the
god.
sound. No, it's just random. Mods ban Tiberius. uh, yeah, Bingo said earlier, way back. I love how Hokuzono is framing the Islanders as not evil. They seem justified for their actions so far because of what Japan did in the previous war. Yeah, see, like that's also what I really want to see. Like I feel like there has to be some some sketchy shit, or maybe not that there has to be, but I think that potentially there is some stuff that we don't know about in terms of what went down between the Soga clan and the Mikaboshi. Um,
There could have been
I wouldn't
something.
be surprised, man.
There could have been some shenanigans that they did in order to, rise to power. It's like this never-ending like game of this person did this, so I'm gonna do this. Now this next person, because they're ruling, then I'm gonna do this. And the Mika, I'm not trying to paint the Mikaboshi as like purely wrong either. I'm just saying there is the chance that they're depicted that way because they were, ruthless, and they did horrible acts. You know what I mean? We don't know what sorcery exactly was like 1,000 years ago. Like, to your point earlier, Dice, we just don't know exactly like the state of the world. Did they include innocent civilians in their whatever they were doing? It was so such a long time ago, and I don't think we're gonna really get that information. I think the whole point is that they're they're retaliating in kind. They found this stone that they like worship to, or they pray to it, they worship it. It's become their god. And now Datanseki, which ironically pops up on Hiroshima the same or at least the same year. All we know is 2 years prior to the events of the chapter 113, or actually that they show it when it first pops up, excuse me, and then we get the jump forward 2 years after like the first page or two. But like Chiaki awakened her prophecy power then. That's when Hiroshima got Datanseki. And not only that, they say that they're going to cultivate more Datanseki in like the, what was it, the next 1,000 years or whatever, in those the territory that they said.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like, do you think we're gonna get any kind of like an inside view of what is actually going on, like how they live on that island, like talking about the everyday civilians, not necessarily the royal family, but get a look in at how things progress there, like their teachings, or just every day? You think we're gonna get any of that, like at least a chapter?
I think so, like 100%. I believe so. Just because it's gonna add so much to the malediction. I mean, we've talked about this so much already in terms of having already seen those two civilians, presumably like a mom with her kid, getting done in by the malediction. I do think we'll see a bit more of that to really kind of add to the scope of just really how bad it is what Soga did, and that regardless what it is that the royal family did, that innocents did not have to suffer. So yeah, I believe so. I don't think it's gonna be like this whole crazy thing, but yeah, I do think that we will see at least like a chapter or a couple of pages within a chapter of like your average civilian, a couple of kids, just to really add some perspective to what Akamura did.
By the way, chat.
Yo, Jello.
Yeah, appreciate that, bro. That's exactly why I'm trying to deal with this sound. I can't mute it. Maybe if I, because I've been looking for it because it's playing. It's like I have nothing up. That's what I'm saying. I never had an issue like this at any other stream. That's why it's strange. Let me just try and close this.
The chat, the stream can hear it, whatever it is that you're.
Yeah, the stream. Yeah, they could. That's why I've been trying to deal with it. Every time I try, and there it is again. And I just closed that out. So
I thought he was talking about something else.
No, that's what I was blowing me, because I know they can hear it, and I know it's got to be loud because it's loud on my shit. And this has never happened any other stream. But keep talking, Dice. My bad. I didn't mean to. Dice.
Yeah, my fault. I was trying to listen back on stream and listen to it. I'm sorry. I should have let you know.
Yeah, Cascade, exactly. It sounds like a Twitch sub. But the thing is, I have nothing like that up. The only window I have up is the YouTube chat. That's weird, right? And the thing is, me and Dice are talking through Discord. So if I mute Discord, I don't know why it would be Discord, but that's the only other thing I have up.
Oh, I hear it. It's like a little, yeah, that's weird, man.
And it's been, bro, it's been killing me. Like, I tried to like get a thought out and talk, and as soon as I begin, it goes off, and it just throws me off because it's like grating. My bad, chat. It literally threw my whole mood off. Bro, I went through like all the settings. I've never had any issues like this. But anyway,
yeah,
I mean,
it's
all right, chat.
Yeah, sorry for that, chat. I didn't think you guys could hear it.
I'm gonna look through and maybe if there's a.
Is it maybe Streamlabs?
I muted everything but Discord and Discord and the music playing, but the music isn't. That's playing on like an actual media player, and so it's not that. There it is again. Bro, I'm about to chainsaw man myself.
I mean, if you want to like end the stream early to figure that out, just let me know. I mean, we don't have to end it right now, but because yeah.
No, we don't have to end it early. I just feel bad because I was looking forward to this shit, and then it's acting like this. Let me try and maybe turn this off. Like now I'm just. Bro, I'm like clicking everything off. I mean, I guess from here on, I don't know, Dice. I said where I think this chapter is going to end. Where do you think chapter 119 is going to end? If you have any thoughts on that.
I mean, yeah, we already talked about it, Ty. I think it's with either like the enchanted blades, with depending on like how the chapter kind of is, like the timeline of the chapter goes. I think it's either gonna be like Kunishige finally getting to work on the enchanted blades, or if we get kind of like if we like get into like the Shiba stuff first, then it might just be like what actually happened on Hiroshima. Maybe Hokuzono kind of holds that too for the end of the chapter, really. Fair.
I remember you said it wasn't crazy. I just wasn't sure if you fully agreed or not. But that could end with like him starting to craft the first enchanted blade. And I mean, I honestly I want to see what happened to Hiroshima. Don't get me wrong. I think that's what I want to see more than anything. Like the editor's note was like something unholy, which is interesting that Shiba says something unholy, because we know the Datanseki is viewed as like their savior, you know, they pray to and all that. So he's saying what happened was something unholy. But the fact that it was their, you know, the thing that they prayed to is what brought that on is pretty funny, or pretty ironic.
Yeah, yo, by the way, you told me you muted everything on Streamlabs, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, I mean, except the microphone.
Yeah, like I don't know if like you have like a alert box or something like that.
No, I muted everything. Muted any alert box. The only thing, my mic and the music playing. That's it. All right, Chad.
Okay.
My apologies, but look, I guess we could just try and you know, we still got 30 minutes. We'll try and end strong. We'll keep it with positive vibes, Dice. Positive vibes. All right, Ibiki Misaka. When is he coming in?
Okay. No.
Oh, it's Jay. It's just Jay said. Didn't realize so much time passed. Could really listen to y'all for hours without noticing. That's sweet.
I appreciate you, Jay.
You know what? Come give me a hug. Where my hug at?
Mango says if it could be me. No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't hear it. I had to like unmute the stream and listen back on the stream. I don't think it could be anything on my end, really. Yeah. I guess I have a question for you, Ty, and the chat as well. I think this is kind of a good
bro.
Something simple.
I told you, I'm not single. I'm taken.
Oh, here you go again. You wish I was gonna ask you that. Listen.
Chat, he does.
Listen. We saw Subaru already. Who's the next Enchanted Blade Bearer we're seeing?
Well,
TC, we won't. I'm standing on business. We're never gonna see Ibuki's face.
What's good? Flavored beef. Me and Dice about to have some flavored beef.
Oh, I love that. I love that username.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Good shit, man.
Okay.
Right. Besides Subaru, first Enchanted Blade Bearer, or next Enchanted Blade Bearer, I should say. Who is it that we're seeing?
I mean,
who is it, gang?
Samura.
Who is it? Oh my god, you don't think we got enough fucking Samura?
But I'm just saying we're gonna see him. I'm not saying he's gonna be. I don't think we're gonna spend a whole lot of time on Samura though. Like, I think, you know, we got a ton of Samura already. You know what I mean? But I do think he might be the next one that kind of pops up. Cause Uraha was what, like the last one to get chosen technically. I do think Ibiki and Natsuki, we know that they were there, or Natsuki was there when Uraha got chosen to wield the Kumiyuri, right? So I feel like they might have been right before Uraha. So I'm thinking it's either going to be Samura or the female sword bearer. I think those are like the next two we're going to see.
There you go. I think it's the female bearer. Maybe this is, yeah, like maybe, I just think that because we saw Subaru and like he was like one of the two, you know, him and the female bearer, which we haven't seen, and we got him immediately. I think it's so like it makes a lot of sense to like now go to her. Maybe a bit predictable, but well, yeah, I'm not like, I don't mean like we might see like a panel of like Samura, like you're saying, but I guess like the next one like will like really get into in terms of like moving and like kind of like doing their thing. I don't. Yeah. Even if it's just like seeing them interact with some of the Sorcery Bureau or whatever, I think it's gonna be the female bearer.
See, I think he's saving her for like the present timeline, like, or. Because here's what I think is going to happen with Subaru. I think we're going to get a lot of Subaru's like character, you know, here and now. I do think he's going to die very early when we cut back to present time. But I think that the whole point of us meeting Subaru so early is to find out that he is a master sword maker, and he's gonna help teach Chihiro, or give Chihiro a crash course, a refresher, whatever it is, so that way Chihiro can reforge his enchanted blade, and then his time is up in the story once that happens. But after that, I think then we'll get the female sword bearer after that, and I think she'll actually get more of like a part to play in the present timeline a bit.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean that makes a lot of sense. I mean, I see some crazy, well, not too crazy, but we've talked about like her potentially like ending up siding with Soga in present day or something like that. So like maybe there is something more to her character besides her just being fleshed out in the same way that Subaru is. That would be pretty cool. I see Mango bringing up Jinichi the goat Sojo. That's right. That's the goat. And I just kind of want to bring up that one panel that is like been talked about for so long already, about like Kid Soja with the bodies floating up. A lot of the original theories was like, oh, the Magatsumi. And I know I'm sorry, like I'm going a bit off topic here. But just seeing what we just saw from the Mr. Mikaboshi in terms of after he slits his throat, and I think it's kind of Shiny, the one that made me realize this. So shout out Shiny. It doesn't necessarily have to be the Magatsumi what he witnessed. Now granted, he does say like that day. There is some wording that kind of like does seem to indicate that he was motivated or inspired by the enchanted blade and whatever enchanted blade like he witnessed. Again, everything pointing towards the Magatsumi, but it might have just been like violence and chaos what kind of like inspired him. And
I think I got it.
Huh?
My bad, Cook. I think I got the answer to that though.
Oh, go ahead. That's pretty much it.
So we see the body floating at the end of the last chapter. I'm thinking this guy isn't dead. Eren Yeager, from Shikoku. Timu Eren. Now,
Timu Eren.
Sojo as a child witnessed that, or at least like that. We see the bodies in the sky. It's got like the black aesthetic to the whole panel itself. And what if an enchanted blade just saved him, saved him from that? I don't know what to call him, because I don't want to call him Prince of the Shikoku or Michael Mikaboshi. But I'm thinking maybe that's what happened. An enchanted blade saved him as a child from that guy.
From him specifically?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, maybe it is a Shikoku or a Mikaboshi inherited ability, but I don't know. I think like this guy, I don't think we've seen the last of him.
No, I get what you're saying.
So, he was saved as a child, and that's why he's like, the pure. But see, even then, that's not perfect either, because I can still punch holes through it. But I think it's something to that degree. Yo, chat. I think I fixed the issue.
Let's go. Finally.
Oh my god.
You got it?
Fuck yeah, baby.
So all what right. Was it, Ty? What the fuck was it?
Dude.
Do you know?
I've never changed any settings in my Streamlabs, and we've never had that issue, right, chat? A lot of y'all are the same, usual suspects that pull up to these things. And for some reason, I had to mute like this mini feed, but I have the alert box muted itself, but the feed itself I had to mute.
Oh, the chat. So it was every time there was a chat. That's what it was.
Dude, I don't know, but when I muted that, that's when it fucking worked.
All
Yeah,
the Kururushi glades. Oh my God, Zoni.
bro, that stuff was.
Chat, y'all were driving my man's crazy. Damn.
You about to make me act up. You know what, Dice? I'm gonna let you rub my feet tonight. He be asking me.
No. I'm good, gang. I'm good. I appreciate the offer though. Okay.
Hey, bro, don't act like you don't be doing
So where
that.
do we So I guess we still got some couple of minutes before we get out of here. What do you want to get into?
You know what? I want to try something. Instead of like messing with these
Oh
polls.
God.
No, nothing sus. Calm down, buddy.
I think
I
the
tell
chat
you to
is
calm
waiting for
down.
you
I tell
to.
you to calm down. No, I'm gonna do a. Let's see, where is it? Start a
So
Q&A.
you signing that Shiba apology form soon?
Shiba apology form. What? Not yet. I mean, I glazed Shiba earlier in the stream
Not
though.
yet. Oh my God.
I did say he was, like the beginning of this flashback arc has only done wonders for his character. Like this is just what I've been wanting from Shiba. It's just seeing Shiba. Now he still hasn't like thrown hands on like one panel. You know what I mean? So I do think he's gonna get that big fight. I don't think it's gonna be in this flashback arc, but I'm waiting for that day, just to at least like see what he can do. I think we all just want to see it because we know the man, he is built different in terms of sorcery, but now he is not the Gojo of the verse. Like that's just not what he is, but he is built different. I just want to see him fight, but his character specifically has been, growing on me. Now, will he be in my top 5? Never.
Oh God, that counts as Shiba slander.
That counts as Shiba slander? Now, will Shiba ever pass up Ibiki Misaka in my top favorite characters? No.
Brother, give it a rest, brother. Give it a rest. But dude, at this point, with the fact that Shiba's sorcery hasn't even been revealed yet, and I wouldn't be surprised if it is something like fucking crazy ridiculous, really. I think we're gonna be getting Shiba off-screen feats for a good minute, man.
It's gonna be 5 years of this shit.
Like at this point, I'm not like, I know some people are like, I don't even care at this point. I'm not even lying, bro. I'm not even lying. Like I don't even care that Shiba hasn't gotten like any.
Yeah, I just want to see it. Like I don't think like my thing with Shiba is he's just like after. Let's think about this. After the Rakuzaichi, and like I'm talking about before he pulls up, because I mean when he pulls up on Yura and what he does in that fight is big. No one can deny that. You know what I mean? Him clearing out the entire city so like innocent civilians don't die. And just bringing Yura out of the Kabanabi HQ. That is what allowed all the, the Chihiro and Samura to put the hands on my man Yura. So he was clutch there. But like,
yeah.
Where was he during the theater? Wouldn't it have been nice if he just like teleports in at the theater and or like there's a literal nuke being carried by butterflies. Origami butterflies are carrying a nuke above the city, and Shiba is nowhere to, I mean, I'm not saying Shiba would know this, that, but Shiba was nowhere to be found. Like, we know he's gathering intel or whatever, but, I do know he was guarding the sword bearer during the Kabanabi invasion. So, like, I can give, like, because he did pull up, I can give him a break for that.
Yeah, I mean, not long after that is when he ends up being killed by Samura, and if it isn't because Samura was, doing his thing with Suzaku, like Shiba's 0 for 2 in terms of protecting the Rokuhira. And look, that's not slander, right? I fuck with Shiba.
Nah, that's slander. Chat, y'all heard it. Dice is switching up. I'm the Shiba glazer. He's a Shiba hater.
No, I do want to Kyoka Suigetsu member, appreciate you. Talking about, I just looked on YouTube for a Sojo versus Hirohiko video and none exist. How has no one thought of this matchup / comparison? Well, I'll just say, because you're a member as well, you just gave us an idea for some members only or some members first content. So since you seem to be looking for that, I'll talk with Ty and see if we can make a little short video just like we did for the Soga's Kamunabi. We are kind of running through some ideas for that sort of content. So yeah, we'll
Yeah,
take
it's a
that
good
into
idea.
consideration.
And you ain't got to
Those are
talk to
two
me,
of my
buddy.
favorite characters.
I'm down. You know what, chat?
All right.
We're going to do it. It's going to be up 35 minutes after we end this stream.
The fuck it's not. No, but I appreciate the idea, the suggestion, Kyoko, even though
Big
I know you
facts.
weren't exactly suggesting it. But yeah, we'll talk about it and see if we can do that for you. Again, I those are two of my favorite characters, so shit, I'm down.
Yeah, no,
I'm
that
down.
would be a good video. It'd be fun to talk about because they're both, you know, both of them don't have a long time, you know, using the enchanted blade.
Yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, that's a fun one to talk about for sure. So let's see, what is there left to get into? Let's try to keep it
So yeah,
on 119, even if it is kind of like hard considering, you know, there's only so much that we can really get into in these single chapter theories, right? Like especially like having an idea of where things are headed.
I mean, honestly, bro, I was thinking like in chat, you know, please pitch in. You know, I think me and Dice kind of talked about having some kind of, not necessarily a format for these streams. This one kind of got away from me, and I take full, blame for that. But when we do these streams, me and Dice try to come in with the have at least where we think where is it gonna start, where is it going to end, and a lot of times like our conversation between each other and like with you guys in the chat, that flushes out the discussion, but obviously there's only so many times I can say Akamura is gonna join the Royal Guard or something like that, you know what I mean? Or like a lot of the ideas or a lot of the things that we talk about with each other in these streams, they do pop up again in other streams because a single chapter is a single chapter. But like, I guess what I'm asking is what are some things you would like to see from these like midweek streams? If there's anything you're looking for. Now, we're not trying to get too heavy on like activities, you know what I mean? But every now and then, you never know.
Yeah. No, we're super down again for suggestions and what you guys got in mind. And Mango, don't even worry about it. That's why we got the Redux series that is after 1 week it's available for everybody, and we're not just going to be making members content. We're going to be alternating between some of those being members only and members first, like the Redux series, because we're not really trying to gatekeep too much content, but at the same time we do want to give people that that are supporting that way, we do want to give them some treats. So don't worry, we're keeping y'all in mind, and we also do try to give away some subs every once in a while. It does suck that we it is random, and some of the homeboys here like you, like Zoni, still haven't gotten one. So I'm really hoping that one of these days when somebody gives subs or when we give subs, you guys get some, because you guys have been you guys are real ones.
Yeah, Miles is into always in here.
Most of the streams. Mm-hmm.
But we gift it.
We're thinking about y'all.
Like, we'll gift it, and all of a sudden, Funny Dad 38, that in like Colorado, meat cookie. Those are the types of random people get fucking gifted members.
Yeah. Oh, people asking for the fan made and oh my god,
dude, let me tell you something. Me and Dice did not expect to get that many submissions. We were happy, we were stoked, but like Dice, like, and I mean I don't want to speak for Dice, but Dice wasn't neither of us was like super used to like streaming this type of content or in this kind of like space. You know what I mean? So I think we might have did that one a little too early. You know, like, because
Yeah.
it was kind of it was a heavy workload, like putting all that together, and then I think if I could redo it, and maybe we'll do something like that again. But if we do
For
it,
sure.
well, I'm limiting the space, the characters per
Yes.
question, because that's the biggest problem. Was like just how long it took to get through some of the submissions. We're reading a paragraph, and that isn't very engaging for chat.
I think what we're gonna have to do is like one, make it like limited number of submissions. So like we'll have to encourage people to do it as quick as they can, like first 50 or something like that, because again, encouraging you guys to like do it ASAP. And also like we can't be running. This channel is only growing. We don't want to like last time I think we ran through like 70 something or something like that. Or I'm not
74.
trying to run into I'm not trying to like run through like over 100 or whatever it is. So I think we can, obviously me and Ty will talk about this in depth, but at least that's what I'm thinking. And also like a word count, a word count for sure, like a word limit, I guess is what I should say. Um, so
Yeah.
yeah, and maybe those two, like, and with our experience a bit more now of streaming, I think that can make up for some more engaging content. Um,
Now, I will
so yeah.
say, if you join the Discord, if you aren't a Discord already in our Discord, the we are planning to do a like Kagurabachi domain expansions video at some point. We don't know
Oh yes,
when
yes, yes, yes.
or anything like that, but you can join the Discord. There's a link. Link is right there. Link is in the description. Um, that's probably gonna be where we like accept all the submissions for like going forward. Do more things like within our Discord server. So you have to join it if you want to, be a part of things like that. But to answer Flavor Beef's question, it's not out of the realm of possibility. We may still do something like that, like Dice was talking about, maybe a limit on submissions or something, or maybe just do a members, like a specific something for the members at down the line at some point. I don't know. I got some ideas as well. I don't want to like give everything away, but the domain expansion video that'll happen eventually. Samura's like out for milk domain expansion is gonna be crazy.
Oh god.
Oh, and then that
Yeah.
good point, Jello, talking about the anime, right? Me and Dice have talked about doing an a podcast for the anime side of things. So we're always gonna be doing Hishaku Hideout, episodes on Sundays. You can always count on that. But with the anime popping up, and like, just to be transparent, that's going to bring a whole new side of the fandom. We definitely would like to get in on that as well. Plus, I mean, we're going to be watching the anime, obviously, and we know that's going to be gas. So like, you can also look forward to that. And
Oh yeah.
speaking of, when are we we should have the Redux Volume 2 episode out next week, right? Next Thursday?
Yes.
For members.
Yes, we're recording that this weekend.
Yeah, it'll be out for members next Thursday. Everyone else will get it the Thursday following. The following Thursday, excuse me.
Yes. And yes, Jay, the plan is to do weekly episode reviews, just like we do the weekly chapter coverages. It's the same format, just talking about the anime. That's the plan.
Yeah.
So we should be dropping both simultaneously. We have no idea when the episodes are gonna drop, but hopefully we can schedule things in a way where, just like we're doing with the chapter coverages, where it's like at most the day after. But we always try to pump those out the same day. But again, we'll have to wait on this whole scheduling, and hopefully it isn't too inconvenient for us.
Yeah, we gotta see what day the episode drops. Like if the episodes drop on like Saturday, that would probably be like perfect almost, because then Sunday we could just try and carve out, a good chunk of, let's see, even then though, but me and Dice have to talk about it. That's way in the future.
Yeah,
That's, we still don't even got
yeah,
the official announcement. Make a
yeah, yeah,
roll
yeah,
to
yeah.
say who's an OG. All right, Miles, I uh I can
Yeah,
cook.
in due time.
I
Yeah,
could do
yeah. I
that.
fuck with that.
I could, or I should say, me
I
and
fuck with
Dice will
that.
think of the what the role should be named, and then add that. But we could do. We'll have to come up with something for that. I mean, the members have the
For sure.
Sojo's bath buddies.
Yeah, yeah. No, but I like that for the OGs, the one that have stuck around for a while.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah.
Predictions
I don't
for
know.
next
Before we get out of
chapter.
here,
That's what Kyoka was asking. Basic.
nice. Yeah.
You. So Dice, I'm sorry, I was dealing with
Oh,
that
you're good.
damn
You're good.
sound thing, but you were saying that you think that we are gonna see the events, what happened at the end there of the last chapter, right?
Yeah, man. I do want to say, because this is something that we've really talked about, but like I went back and reread this chapter, and man, just like the conversation with the professor, and like just leading up to the encounter, and fucking Mike Mikaboshi, like, dude, Hokuzono, and like I know this has been talked about like to death, about like how Hokuzono makes a lot of this story really feel like a movie. The way he like frames certain moments and sets them up, like this dude is like a fucking cinema fan, and you can just tell. And I was rereading that chapter, uh and like, man, I was just like in awe. So like all this to say really that I think we're kind of going to keep this format of like a Shiba kind of narrating what happened, and I wouldn't be surprised if we kind of cut back and forth. I don't think necessarily back and forth, but I do think that it's going to be framed in a very similar way to what we saw from last chapter, where like the narration, whether like I said, from the professor this time around is from Shiba, is gonna kind of like gonna bleed into what we see from what went down on Irishima, whether we like get straight into it and then kind of like seamlessly a transition into what Shiba was saying, or whether it is literally, like I said, like a back and forth of like Shiba breaking down and reacting and then kind of cutting to each death or whatever it is. I'm just really looking forward to that, man. Because I think this chapter was really crazy, and I think it's probably, chat, is it crazy to say that this last chapter is the best in the arc so far? I mean, we're only 6 chapters in, really, but I feel like this is the chapter, and I don't think it's really all that crazy to say, but it's all subjective. But I think this is where like shit like really got going. And again, it's not just like what goes down, but the whole lore implications of the Mikaboshi. Um, yeah, man. I mean, again, like you and me talked about it, Ty, like before we started recording that last episode of the pod. Like you and me were just like giddy, man. Like we were like so damn hype, and I'm really hoping that Hokazono keeps like this level of intensity.
Yeah. Uh, I do think it was the best chapter, and to answer Kyoka's question real quick, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
me and Dice both, he think like, as he thinks that we're gonna see what happens. I don't think we're gonna see what happens. I think we might just get the reaction from the Sorcery Borough and all present company, that the reaction of what Shiba's testimony was. And I think me and him both think that we could possibly see the first enchanted blade start to get forged. And Dice, did you? I know
Mhm.
it's not confirmed. I know we kind of talked about it. And we both kind of volleyed back like issue or problems or our own personal issues with both sides of the argument. If you think that there's the Magasumi being the first enchanted blade crafted.
This again. Oh man. Um.
I don't know if I got a definitive answer from you. You probably did, and I'm just
No,
misremembering.
I don't think I did because I'm very much on the fence. Like it's one of those things that I used to. My whole thing, because I've gone back and forth on this. Like my opinion isn't really solid. Like I don't have too much conviction either way. My whole thing is that, and again, like I think we can all pretty much agree on this, and it's something that you talked about it, and it's something that I've been thinking for a while, whether it was forged first or last. This is something that I originally thought off the back of like it being forged first, but it really can work whether it was the last. I just think it works more if it's the first, about like Kunishige not having wanted to hand out Magatsumi, right? He creates this all-powerful blade. He feels that there's like just it's different, right? Or like if it was the first, that like it's not something that he wants to put out there. It doesn't feel like his other blades. um it's too strong. He doesn't like have a handle on it if it was the first one, and like he doesn't want to hand it out because he doesn't believe that there's anybody who could like wield it, anybody who would be right to wield it until he meets Akamura. I believe that like it's that sort of camaraderie leading up to the war, Akamura's ideals, or at least at that moment how he carries himself, that eventually kind of leads him to seeing Akamura as like, damn, this is the guy. Like there would be nobody better to wield my creations. I'm still very much looking forward to like when Akamura is officially recognized as the Sword Saint, because that you would think that has to happen before he gets handed the enchanted blades. We know that all these enchanted blade bearers were master swordsmen in their own right before they got their enchanted blade. So I would think that like the same would be with Akamura, and it's that sort of like a reputation along with him actually getting to know the guy, potentially like their ideals aligning and what they have to do for Japan, what ends up being like, you know what, man, like you're the one guy that I can entrust with this. um
Yeah.
and I do think that sort of thing works best if it was the first blade forged. But then there's this whole thing about like it being the one blade. We all know that the enchanted blades were each forged with different purposes, right? Like Tobimune was to protect and or support rather. Obviously, we know that swords and blades are meant to kill. Like that's not really what we're talking about here. But the intrinsic purpose for which the blade was kind of forged with or for, Magatsumi is the only one, at least the way it's been. Maybe not the only one, but I think it has been stated to be the one that was forged to kill, to slaughter.
Or
And
like to
you and
take
me have kind
life,
of talked about this.
and it does drain. It
Yeah,
siphons off life.
yeah. And so like there's also that sort of thing where like, and I believe I'll give you full credit on this because you have talked about this, about like, the war is at a stalemate. There things aren't moving. There's meanwhile Japan is a fucking battlefield. People are dying. There's no progress being made. We have to just tip the scales. We have to make that final push. This one has to be for killing. This one has to be to finish the job. And so like Kunishige, with all that like pressure, with all that like weight, of like finally having to deliver the one that seals it, he just kind of like puts too much sauce on it. You're like, oh, you've talked about this. I'll give you full credit, right? So like I really, and again, I feel like I'm really cheating out of the question. I used to really think it was like the first, like I said, the whole camaraderie thing between Akamura and Kunishige. But like knowing what we know of the blade itself, it really does make sense that in terms of the blade, that it was kind of made to finally tip the scales. And that's not even getting into the whole similarity with the insects things. I've seen people, and this is like the last thing I have to say really, I've seen people say that or theorize that the whole insects thing is Akamura, because they, about Magatsumi, it's can like it has infinite abilities, so it was Akamura that kind of gave it that form in terms of the whole insect themes. I've seen other people, and I think what is it, Beatrice, Crazy Beatrice, or Jaffa Cake on Discord has talked about like the Magatsumi having been forged. And I think Karusu also said something similar about the Magatsumi having been forged from the Datsenseki from Shikoku, or and I think somebody else also said this on the Discord, potentially even like the Datsenseki that they could pick up from some of the Mikaboshi corpses. We know that they have it like literally on their chest, or like they literally wield it, right? So I can also see like the Magatsumi having been forged with like whether it's more pure Datanseki because it comes from Shikoku itself, or whether they literally scraped it off some of the corpses. That can also kind of like, that kind of theory can also lead you to think that it was the last one forged. So again, I know I just completely cheated my way out of the question. I just don't really have an opinion right now. Every time I lean one way, I kind of think about it more, and then I'm like, well, it's so I really am 50-50, man.
All right. To answer some people in the chat, like, yeah, it was the last one that hit the field, and that turned the tide. That is true.
Yes.
Now we also know it's called his masterpiece, which normally you would think like he basically, the other blades were, they each basically played into him creating the final one, which was his masterpiece. But the first blade being the Magatsumi, one, there's the whole thing with the contracts being linked, wrapped up into the Sword Saint. Excuse me, my bad. So there's that. So that one being the first one, it's easier for him to wrap all of them and tie them to the Magatsumi. Two, that being his first one is reason why it's so strong. It's the reason why he made a sword, the first sword, for war, specifically to take life, which is why that is basically, it's so strong, it like pulls life, and that's why it can have these like black spirit manifestations or spirit energy. Then that experience of him like realizing that, oh, he's working with a monster, cooked too hard, because even when he's creating that, we'll see some inner monologue of Kunishige and him coming to like realize like, man, I couldn't really get my like a good grasp of like the idea of this blade. It kind of got away from me and it became something that I didn't want it to be, which that will basically make him like add a support function to the rest of the blades, give each of the other 5 blades a support roles and things like that. Like that's why those are made that way, because he didn't do that with the Magatsumi. He made a blade specifically for war on the first one, and using that raw material, the Datanseki, for the first time, cooked too hard. This will also play into him, as someone said, I believe, what was it, Sword Saint? Oh yeah, talking about like he already met Akamura. I agree with that too. He does know Akamura, but probably just that it's Chiaki's little brother. But now,
exactly,
saying like Akamura becomes Chiaki's like royal guard, maybe the leader of the royal guard. That will play into like him getting to know Akamura more, and I think he is gonna like come to realize like, oh, this is the person that is the most suited for the Magatsumi, the first blade. The reason why it didn't hit the field sooner is because maybe Kunishige was hesitant to give the woman he loves, like, her little brother, like this like crazy ass sword. You know what I mean? He might have been hesitant, or maybe it just took him a while to like finally just like come to terms with like, yes, Akamura is the one. It's him. It suits him. Boom, and then that's when it hits the field. So that's why it came out last. That's kind of where I'm sitting at in terms of like the Magatsumi being crafted first. And it would be 119 is about it ending with him crafting it. Then 120 being the like seeing Kunishige like hold the Magatsumi for the first time is gonna go crazy.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with that. Like, and from that sort of perspective of things, you can also see like how, let's say he made the first blade, right? And he's getting pressure from up top, like, yo, you got something done, right? And he's like,
Shit, I want
I
some
need more
pressure up
time.
top. You know what I'm saying?
Oh God.
No, I meant
I
like.
thought you said you were gonna be on your best behavior, bro.
Unfortunately, this is.
Anyways, um, so like I can see like that situation and him being like, no, I need more time. Like what he would like that one like is like, no, that's I cannot take this out to the battlefield, and like ultimately after having built all the other ones, and again we reached this standstill, we reached this this stalemate, and like he once again kind of gets pressured by the by the higher ups or the whether it's the leaders of the government, the guys from the Silver
Brass.
Clan, Sorcery Bureau, top brass. Yes, thank you. They start pressuring him again, like, yo, we know you got something else that you're hiding. Like, we know you got one locked up. It's time. And then, like you said, like this is where he finally decides to be like, yeah, it's got to be Akamura. By then,
Yeah.
he's proven himself in the war, and he's been able to like, develop a stronger sense of camaraderie, or um, yeah, just relationship between the two, like more trust, I guess is the word.
Yo, and maybe the whole like the moniker of Sword Saint, maybe he becomes that because of during the war he is when he gets that. It could, or maybe there,
Yeah.
it could be something where maybe we see all the sword masters, basically participate in, excuse me, I can't think of sparring with each other, and without their EBs, obviously. And maybe this is before Akamura has the Magatsumi, but they let him play, take part in it, and he beats all the other sword masters, even though he's young, and maybe he gets his nickname, the Sword Saint, there.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'd fuck with that. I'd fuck with that. Whether it's that or or maybe a combination of both, like I said earlier, because of he was the only guy that was able to stand alongside enchanted blade bearers, like bearing a regular blade. I remember, I think this is something I was also talking with Shiny about, like, it would be interesting that Kunishige, like Akamura wielded a blade of Kunishige's before Magatsumi, similar to like how Mashiro wields one, and him like Akamura proving himself with a blade of Kunishige's before wielding Magatsumi is like what really does it for him, being like, oh yeah, dude, like you're the perfect guy to wield my creations. I can, like, it only makes sense to give you this this insane nuke, right? That's also something I've entertained. I think that would be also something really cool. um
And
so yeah.
that flashback of Kunishige telling Uruha, this blade is suited for you, Kunishige doesn't look happy. It doesn't, like, he looks hesitant. He looks like he has conflicting thoughts about the all this playing out. And I mean, all things considering, like, these people so far, all the sword masters come to have like a fond opinion of Kunishige, aside from Akamura. But we even know Akamura was like said to be Kunishige's right hand man. So him spending more time with Chiaki and her guard being his homie, like, I think that kind of just all plays into each other, But I do like seeing him like get called the Sword Saint for the first time would be super dope. Or maybe that's his nickname from like everyone in the war. Like, as soon as he hits the scene and just like basically turns the tide by himself, all the other people are like, oh, that's the Sword Saint. And they just start, cheering every time he hits the field.
Yeah.
There was something else someone said I wanted to respond to. This dude Mal said, and I really don't see why the Magatsumi was necessary. John Island seemed so understanding last chapter.
John, I love how this dude, like, it's a different name every time. I love how the community treats these nameless characters. John Island. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
it's always, man. So many Johns in the Bachi verse.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, the Magatsumi could have been last because of them. Like, like I said, me and Dice have like kind of went back and forth on this, and me and him both kind of were on the other side at different points of the discussion. And there's a time where I thought it was last, and all the other sword bearers basically came together before the Magatsumi hit the field, and that was in order for Kunishige to kind of tie all of them up. But also that would mean that before that point, there was a chance that anybody could have picked up one of the enchanted blades and used it, instead of the another sword, like someone from the islands could have picked it up and used it against them or something like that. What's good, Don? But so like
Yeah.
the contracts and them all being wrapped up and tied to the Magatsumi being done firsthand is very important, because if someone from the island got their hands on one of them, most likely that's game over.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah. The whole contracts thing is one of those things that I think is also like I'm definitely expecting some sort of not some sort, but like more context and information about like why that whole thing like came to be. Because I yeah, I don't know, the whole contracts conversation is something that I really haven't really thought about enough. And so, like, even though it's been talked about a lot, and like I have thought about it like here and there, mostly in discussions with you and other creators as well as people in the community. But it's something that I haven't really like sat down and reflected myself of like, okay, why do I think that the contracts were created, and how was that like whole process? Like, because what you say makes a lot of sense. Like, okay, it's for like, so basically other people didn't get their hands on it, and of course,
Yeah.
um but the fact that like the way their lives are tied to it as well, I don't know. It really, again, I just haven't. It makes you think, and I just haven't thought about it enough, I guess, is how I should say it. And so like I feel like I don't want to like really speak too much on it, because I'm really not the best at the moment in terms of
Ooh, because
again,
bosses
really
don't
making sense
speak.
of that whole thing. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Yes, sir.
That's the
Yes,
only
sir.
time y'all gonna hear me give Dice a compliment. Oh, and I want to go back a little bit, 'cause
uh
I did find it, and my apologies. Not look at or saw it, but
Bingo.
we were in the middle
And
of
Don
a
was good,
chat.
Don.
Let's
Sorry, man.
see. Oh, it's just somebody bringing back like Mashiro being alive in the current timeline. Him and Shiba had a fallout, and that's why Shiba hasn't mentioned him. That could be the case. I don't know if they're still in here. KJ. Um, what's good, Bango? Welcome back. We were just talking about the likelihood of why, if the Magatsumi was crafted first, why didn't it hit the field and things like that. Oh, like Ray is talking about like the contract. Sundere Tiberius, that's me.
Yes,
Ray
there.
says, what if the whole dying part of the eternal contracts are broken is like a condition to create the contract to begin with? Give up your life in exchange for the insane amount of power. I mean, technically, you're not giving up your life, though. I see what you're saying, though. Like, I probably know I'm just like hyper fixating on that
Well,
wording.
technically,
But yeah,
actually.
yeah. Well, actually, I think the enchanted blades. Um, on Dice's soul,
Oh
Mashiro lives.
God.
Not Sword Saint.
Oh
MVP.
man,
That's
why
an
y'all do this to
MVP
me,
level
man?
statement right there.
Why y'all do this to me, man? No, we
Ooh,
get what you mean, Rager. That's just
yeah.
Tiberius being Tiberius, you know.
I mean, like, uh, let's see. Do you guys think Bachi has a main squad or trio? If y'all trio, I say Frio. Uh, then obviously you gents think Iori or Hiyuki. Iori.
Yeah, I mean, I would love it to be Hiyuki, but she's been I mean, shit, I'd love it to be Hinao. Let me just push that agenda real quick. Um,
Now, bro, you
but
know what? Chat, kill him.
no, no, no. In all seriousness, I would like. I would really like for it to be like the answer to that to be Hiyuki, but we haven't seen her for like a long ass time. Um, and she's almost like kind of too powerful. I don't know if that's like fair to say. Like I feel like she's
Yeah.
her own thing. Like the whole thing with Flamebone, and I feel like that's whether it's this arc or later on, I feel like that's gonna be like its own thing. I think like if there were to be a trio, I think it very much is gonna be Chihiro, Yori, and Hakuri. Even though we haven't seen Yori and Hakuri even interact. So
Yo, I got
interesting,
an
right?
issue with us not seeing Hakuri and Chihiro's reunion at
Oh
the end of
god.
part one.
Here we go.
No, for
There
real.
we go.
Like that's why I don't think this is like set up as like you know, standard shonen. Obviously, it's like a revenge, you know, revenge plot. Well, that's how it starts off anyway. Then it, you know, becomes something more. But like, think about it. If it was a trio, man, then it's a little, it's a little lackluster on that front. Not saying it can't become more, but we should. I mean, we didn't see Hakuri Hakuri and Chihiro since right before they went to go the train. Yeah, with Uraha. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like what Mango says. Yori wasn't on the jump art or in, or in a Burger King or had a toy like Hiyuki.
Was
Hey
I'm
man,
handing out
cook,
whoppers.
cook.
Car
Okay,
needs to come
Joel.
back.
Joel's got a chat. It says Magatsumi was forged first. 1, 2. The tides turn and Shikoku surrenders. 3. Akamura goes crazy and kills everyone in the island. 4. The other blades are forged tied to Akamura to produce them fast. Huh. Huh.
So you're saying that the are you saying like all those events are like that's your chronological order, or are you just saying like that fourth that last point?
Mm. The blade was forged Tai Akamura. I think those are just like his. I
Just
think those
thoughts.
are, yeah, those are just his main points. I mean, he says Magatsumi was forged first, which is something that you just present your whole case. We know why the tides turn. Shokoku does surrender, and Akamura does goes
Yeah.
crazy, but he's saying that the other blades were forged tied to Akamura to produce them fast. Okay, so like yeah, so basically after the Magatsumi was forged, he says that for some reason tying them to Akamura and the Magatsumi just accelerated the process of making the enchanted blades. That's interesting. I think it's the first time I see that or hear that, but I think there could be something there. Again, it's like I said, like the whole thing with the contracts is just so tricky because I definitely think that there's like, oh, he says my timeline. Okay, well that's a bit trickier, but anyways, in regards to like the contracts, I think there's like from like it was just, oh, they were like the contract was done for this reason, right? I think it's multiple things that kind of led to like the making of those contracts.
Yo, I want to say Miles does bring up a good point here. Counter to Iori wasn't on a jump art
Yeah, I
or
read
in a
that one,
break.
bro.
Okay, he did. I don't listen to you,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
but
yeah. I know, buddy.
and Hiyuki does have that toy
I know,
or the
I
figure,
know, yeah, yeah,
not a
yeah.
toy, but it's a figure. Okay, Miles, it's a
Yeah,
figure.
cook.
It's actually a figure. Okay, it's not a toy. It's not an action figure. It's a statue.
Uh, uh, I can already picture the double spread Hokazona's gonna cook when Akamura lets off malediction.
Bro,
Says Rage.
we need a we need a color page. The time is not.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like and this is just kind of like for hype moments in aura, really. But I also like thought of, even though I do think it would be cool to see the malediction, I wouldn't be surprised if, like I said, we get like a couple of pages of like Shikoku and like how civilian life looks after the treaty, and then the Seitei War arc just ends with the no, they must be annihilated. and if that's the end of the Seitei War arc, because we know what happens, right? But like, yeah, I can also
Do we
like,
really
even
though?
though we have seen the,
What if it's a psyop?
huh? Oh
It's
god,
a government psyop, and there's something else going
here
on.
we go.
Well,
Tinfoil
technically,
hat Tibby. I mean, the psyop is what they told everybody. Let's not look, man. Let's not. Okay, I'll fucking summon Yura in here. Let's not. Okay. Our
okay,
goat
my
Yura.
bad. Look, let me chill out before I get attacked. Yo, by the way, Iori, I just bit my lip. Iori's bitch ass teacher, he needs to get the goofy beat out of him. I just remember like thinking about Iori. That dude, like, Samura should have dropped 2 owls on that fucking town. He's like at one right over his house.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I mean, well, the other one just in the, everywhere else. You know what I mean? Put an owl in that boy's back pocket.
Oh man. Yeah. You're his teacher.
What? Yeah, I did teach Samura. No, wait, no, I did. That would make me a misogynist. No, wait. I am not Itsuo Shirakai.
Scratch that.
But I think we gotta get ready to end this stream. I'm just so glad I finally got that damn like notification thing, or not even notification. There's no notifications coming in, so I don't know what the fuck that noise was coming from, bro. It's throwing me off my loop. But you saw what happens. Once I fixed that, that's when I started cooking about the Magatsumi and all that. Oh yeah, we need a Jotaro sorcerer.
I do have a question for y'all. I think this is a pretty fun one. People were talking about this in our Discord server the other day. Do y'all think we're getting guns in Kagurabachi?
the enchanted blicky?
What do you think, chat? And you, Ty, what are you thinking? It's a legitimate question, by the way.
No. I don't see. I mean, if they are in the world, where them bitches at? Because they should have been pull up with a stop button.
I mean, let's be honest. Like, guns wouldn't really like. I mean, I don't know.
Look, if they're saying that guns work on JJK sorcerers, I'm just because we know there's not many sword masters running around.
Hey man, I'm thinking we could get some guns. I really do. I mean, I think
yeah, we're gonna get
there is a little bit of like,
and when we end the we end this arc, this flashback arc, Chihira's just gonna happen to be in the USA, and he's gonna be American.
Let's not. Okay.
Yeah.
But
that's where we're going now. But remember that edit I made of Chihiro in front of the American flag, pulling out the. Hold on, I'm gonna show them this.
Man.
Chad, if Chihiro was born in the United States, I actually already cooked that up, what that would look like. And we're going to end the stream after that. I don't see there being guns, though, real shit. I mean, shit.
I just think it would be...
Hokazono barely wants to show us sorcery, like sorcery fights.
I just think it would be cool for, like, some motherfucker, like, Chihiro just, like he has some, some fight, like, someone pulls up, and he gets in his, like, EI White 30 style stance, ready to like unsheath that shit, and some motherfucker just pulls out dual wielding guns or like fucking a whole AR. Ooh. I just think it would be so fucking funny, bro.
Akimbo, like, UMP 45s, extended mag with the red dot.
Yeah. MP5s, and like he's fucking using it with a sorcery.
Shooting with
just
feet.
Some like crazy shit. I just think it would be funny. And cool, man. Cool. Like, you kind of see a bit of the John Wick inspiration in Bocce, so I just think that whole thing would fuck, if I'm honest.
And they don't say what his name is, and everyone just starts calling him the actual John Wick. Another John name.
Another John. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, bro.
I'd fuck with it though, man. I'd fuck with it.
So let's see. I made this was dude. This
Guy's
was a
an evil
year
sorcerer.
ago. Let me see.
Yeah, who's Ibuki? Who the fuck's that? Who the fuck is that guy?
Who the fuck? Ibiki is dad, bro.
Oh man, not mine. I'll tell you that.
Let me tell you something, son.
Let me tell you something.
November 30th, 2024.
Just show the chat, man. Show the chat.
I'm showing him. You could leave, bro.
I can't. I'm
Ibiki
contractually
slanderer.
obligated to be here.
Ibiki slanderer, philanderer.
Not
All
my
right.
go. Look, I'm loving the Ibiki hate. Let's go. Where have y'all been? Where have y'all been? Well, what matters is y'all pulling up finally.
This is yeah. You know, just want to start to try and be nice to Shiba. Y'all gonna pull out Ibiki slander? Like y'all know that just makes me want to like hate on Shiba that much more just cause.
Oh, I just saw the image you had made. I remember when you made this. That's what I'm saying, man. Imagine somebody like whooping out an AR from their trench coat just like that. And like a serious ass face, bro. Like no meme. Oh, man.
And then Azami goes to grab a gun. Wait, no, never mind. You can't grab it.
Hey, chill on my dude Azami, okay? I just alluded the screen to TC asked who's stronger, Ibiki or Soga without an enchanted blade? Hiroto, by the way. I'm sorry. I've never fucked with bro, not gonna lie. Yeah, fuck Ibiki, man. We stand the better Misaka brother over here.
Yeah,
Let's
Ibiki
fucking
Misaka.
go, bro. No, you know who that is, bro. The one whose heart is still beating. She, the one who never lost his edge. Yeah, the one that edges me, bro.
Natsuki ain't a bearer of nothing. He's a bearer of headphones, wireless headphones. That's what that boy's the bearer of.
Nah, brother. He meant brother. Chill on my
Listen
guy,
here,
bro.
brother. That boy got little broed. He's supposed to be a sword master, and Yura wasn't even worried about him. He was like, you know what? I'm gonna go take out this little dude just because he's like the weakest one. Let me go just kill him real quick.
Natsuki was putting in work. Yeah, he coping.
Natsuki was the one using sorcery. I mean, I ain't see anyone else using sorcery in that fight.
So what? Who said no sorcery?
Hey, I know. I'm just saying, like, he's the only one who needed it. But that's neither here nor there.
Oh, like you didn't need a whole Magatsumi? Like, come on, let's not.
Hey,
let's not.
You're not a sword master. He's just the master.
Yeah, he was with the big boys. He was with the big dogs.
Natsuki's not. Natsuki is.
Hokuto was glazing. Hokuto was glazing too. He gave him that wink.
I mean,
he said your sword play is nice or whatever.
And he still didn't use his sorcery against them though.
Yeah, he did. He actually did. He's the first one.
No, yeah, I'm talking about the 2v2. I'm talking about the 2v2.
Nah. He needed sorcery to block his lightning attack. Let's not.
I mean, so you're saying Natsuki would have beat Hokuto?
Look, man, don't even.
Oh, I'm just.
Don't get me started. I'm gonna fucking smoke his ass. Maybe not. I fuck with Hokuto. Hokuto's a demon.
Nah,
as well.
son. Look, you know what? Y'all might be witnessing. Look, the Hishaku's first traitor, and it's someone named Dice. Imagine that.
What you talking about?
Hey, I'm just saying. Ibiki, he was the one chosen as a sword master, as a sword bearer. Natsuki got little broed, not only by his actual big bro, but then Uruha.
Where he at, though?
Uruha.
Where he at, though?
I don't know. Do you know?
Where he at, though?
Do you know where he's at?
6 feet under, bro.
No, I'm talking about Natsuki. I'm talking, where's Natsuki? Where's Natsuki at? I literally don't know.
We know where Ibiki is, though.
I can't wait till Soga does some shenanigans and brings back Ibiki to fight on his side. And I hope the villains win.
Oh Oh my god. Yo, Chad, this guy's delusional. I'm telling
They
you, we're
better
never
not. They
seeing
better.
his face, bro. We're
They
never
better not
seeing his face,
believe
bro.
that I actually believe that, or maybe I do. I just start keep doubling down on it.
Oh man. Somehow that would be a nerf for Soga. Oh, let's go. D the man, you've always been here.
Hey,
In the Ibiki
a
hate.
nerf and firepower, but
Appreciate you.
he aura levels through the roof.
Nah, son.
Aura levels
Is
through
that
the
gut?
roof.
Beer gut. Beer
Oh
belly.
yeah,
All
bro.
right.
Yeah, the man's got he got the dad bod. That man's built differently
Oh, man.
and is obtuse because he got that gut. They call him a homie. They call him Ovaltine. The back of his arms float in the tub, but still, he's the GOAT.
Now we're glazing the right people in chat. Thanks, Rage. Yes, sir. He coming back for show. And he tends to say he be gonna get no diff by Misery Inazuma. Oh, bro, they cooking.
Oh, what's good,
guy,
Khalil?
bro.
Look,
Oh, Khalil, yeah.
I'm just
what's good,
saying,
man?
I can't wait. Or y'all talking about my man's Ibiki? I need to see some pictures of y'all. I'm a hire private detectives, and if any of y'all got like over 8% body fat, ooh, nah, I'm just playing. My man, hey, look, like I said,
And here comes Zoni with the Kuroshi glaze.
the Shiba apology gonna be heavenly, and guess what? When that day comes, I'll be burning in hell.
Oh,
Nah,
man.
that apology form is coming sooner than I'm hoping.
Oh, again, here we go back on my life. Jesus, Hiyuki is coming back on Dice's life. If I'm
On
wrong,
Dice's soul, boy. Ibiki is gonna come back in the story and fight in present time on Dice's soul.
He said Hiyuki, by the way.
No, I'm
Not
saying
no
Ibiki. Listen to what I'm
Chill,
saying.
bro. Nobody's
Ibiki.
talking about no Ibiki. We stopped talking about Ibiki like 5 minutes ago, bro.
I just want to put a bad bet on your soul, bruh.
Oh my god, man.
Hey, look, I can accept it.
Oh my god.
Ibiki, he's dead. Push me to the edge. Ibiki's dead. I mean, Shiba ain't. It's looking like Shiba ain't saved his homeboys either. But you know, we'll let that on. I'm a dad, got belly for a while. Look, Joel, look, bro. I have a 6-year-old daughter. You know, I had a Ibiki body for a little while. You know, and like stress and poor sleeping schedule has got me losing weight, not in a healthy way, but you know, I'm on my way back to the Ibiki body.
Y'all get a pass, I guess.
Hey, bro, I'm just saying.
That Aura farming score tech from Piccolo, only Aura, not about that.
Aura's Aura, and we accept it.
Except Ibiki.
Wait, hold on.
I'll leave it at that.
This is like, these are fans that talk about Mr. Inazuma, Char, all these people.
Hey, Char's goated.
Char is goated. Let me stop.
Yeah, chill on Char, bro. Chill on Char. Ibiki died without maidens too. Ooh, oh my god, bro. They
oh no, you're crazy. Maidens was definitely walking up and down that street. You know, son. He was rotating them out.
Son.
Yeah, bro. He put. That's an enchanted seed he's dishing out. Okay.
Nah, son. Nah, ain't no way, man. Ain't no way. Ain't no fucking way.
Look, if you knock on Ibiki's refrigerator, a family of hams will answer.
Oh man.
But he's still got aura.
Stop it. Get some help. Char is still eating the sandwich. Hey, that's my goat, man. If he has to stress out and eat less, that's cool.
You know what? I'm about to get on my Ibiki grind. I'm about to order some Chick-fil-A.
Oh. See, now you're thinking like a real Ibiki fan. There you go.
All I'm saying is y'all messing with Ibiki. I bet y'all gonna let another man name y'all a kid.
Hey, I'm telling you, that Ibuki wasn't on no Samura level. They just told him that to be nice.
They're
Okay.
LARPed. They're LARPing as. Yeah.
They just told him that so he didn't feel left out. He's actually the worst blade bearer. I'm betting Dice's offsprings on the Sojo revival.
Damn.
Oh my fucking.
Damn.
Oh my fucking god, man.
I bet D the man got Czechoslovakian chest hair.
We gonna see Shiba full fighter off screen next chapter. Well, I did see a tweet about that, Don. About like it's crazy that like the first fight of Shiba's we might actually get on panel. He might just like, well, he might not, like, it's not might, like we know he gets his fucking ass whooped.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
So
he
like
looks
that
beat
might
up.
be crazy. That's gonna be crazy if we actually see them fight this time, and it's more so like getting his ass beat rather than like him actually doing fighting, bro. The whole community's gonna like lose it.
Me,
Yeah,
see, I wouldn't make fun of Shiba. I wouldn't make fun of Shiba like that. I just make fun of him for everything else.
TC, you're right. Tiberius would be talking crazy if Ibuki shows up on Sunday, but you know what? That shit ain't happening. That shit ain't happening.
Boy, Dice, you have a white woman's neck. Stop.
You don't even know that. You don't. I won't confirm nor deny, but you don't know that. By the way, y'all believe Akamura's real body in part 3 will be released, or he keeps your possessed body. Oh man, that's a whole nother can of worms. I'll just say I think he'll be in his body. What happens to Yura is a whole nother question I'm not ready to get into. But he does talk about like addressing that whole body situation, so I would assume he's in his body. I wouldn't be surprised if he's in his body. We get that confirmation once we return to present day, and we just don't know what happened to Yura for a while. Like I can see Hokuzono kind of keeping that close to his chest. Put your hero picture out of the way of the chat, please. They not fucking with you. Oh, you're covering the chat. That's what's up. Oh, you got it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm about to have to dip because I am hungry. I'm gonna get my Ibiki on, go eat.
All right. Yeah, I think this has been our longest stream yet. We were dealing with some issues early on, so we had to make up some time. But yeah, this was fun.
Damn, Dice, stay off. Your soul is, boy, you got some gambling debt on that soul. Dice is gonna be a saint in the next life with all this kind of karma.
Hey man, I behave.
Yeah. Hey, you're a good sport about it though. All right. Yeah, that'll do it. We've been supposed to get off, but lit stream. Sorry for the issues in the beginning. That shit really was throwing me off my game, bro. You should have seen my computer. I had so much shit open up, like looking through every possible thing.
Yeah, I mean, now you know what it was. I did try to do a bit of research on my end as we were streaming. That's why I asked you about the alert box, so I'm glad you figured it out. Not surprised that it was something related to that. I hope next chapter has Natsuki and Shiba purely to piss off Tai. Love to see it, man.
Hey, don't worry. I'll be pissed off about something regardless.
That's the truest shit you said this stream. On Dice's ability to walk, Hirohiko will get a win. He getting a win eventually, Dita, man. He getting a win eventually, alright? Getting a fucking win eventually. So thankfully, I'll be able to walk. I'm not tripping. Maybe not for like another 6 months, but he getting that win. He getting that fucking win, alright?
Either man talks like somebody that's a turtleneck's worst nightmare.
What the fuck?
Like he can't keep his head up when he yawns. The boy got a cranium.
Okay, man.
God had to throw an ACL in his neck to hold that bitch up. Thanks, I'm trying to defend you, bro. Indeed, man's a good sport. I don't know what he looks like to begin with.
All right, y'all. I appreciate everybody here.
Y'all be cool.
Appreciate Yeah, Zoni, Cascade, Mango, Rage.
I agree.
Mikey
Mikey loves.
loves Bachi.
I agree. I do think he's gonna get the Kamiri back.
Oh,
All right.
100%.
All right, chat.
Third ability incoming.
Yeah.
Brr.
I don't know what that was, but we really need to get out of here. Dice is making like sounds I never heard him make.
No.
And...
I'm saying, come in your third ability, go. Brr. Come on.
I don't know. Okay. Like I thought you was like trying to channel your inner poo shiesty. Instead, you're just poo poo. You know what I mean? No.
Okay, that's good.
All right, y'all be cool though. Have a good night. Everybody. See y'all episode on Sunday. I put the Discord, the link for the Discord, just a little bit ago. It's in the description. And W stream besides that.